Kosher sandwich. That is kosher. Alright. The old 4s and 2s. This is like a limited curve, except with slightly more powerful cards. Also, they're spells, not creatures. Big fan of your content, AJ. Thanks. Give me a colon D. Not the colon and the D, but the colon D. Big D. When you give the colon D, make sure it's a big D. Mountain Guide? Oh no! This is probably our nightmare matchup. I would assume in the dark. Don't want compulsive. It's gotta be, right? Hard to think of a worse one. Don't have any like timely reinforcements or anything. Kalitas is all I got. Yeah, I might not fetch Tassiger. Don't want that either. Although Turbo Tassie is one way we could theoretically win. But I can't draw the Tassiger and a land. Goblins. This was actually... I was actually considering playing a Goblins Bushwhacker deck this week. And I actually bailed on it last second after seeing this blue-black deck. Let me know if you want to see Goblins, because I actually think it's kind of sweet. And there's some cool things you can do with it when you have 8 Bushwhackers. I have it built. I borrowed the cards for it and everything. Dismember. I do want to draw that. Do I want to block this thing? Probably not. Now that I know it's Goblins and not straight burn, the counter magic is a lot better. Exhibit A. The Wrath also. Goblin Grenade is a scary one. But my versions of this deck didn't even have room for bolts. It was literally like creatures, spells that make creatures, Bushwhackers, and Goblin Grenades. Which is a hell of a deck list. More Dismembers. But Goblin Grenade is a lot of damage. Not sure if you're aware. Pile Driver? Woof. But yeah, when you have a bunch of Bushwhackers, Pile Driver goes way up in value. All the token things, the War Marshals, Dragon Fodder and stuff. And then you have Goblin Guide, Foundry Street, Denizen. Maybe like Fanatics are pretty good right now. There's a bunch of cool stuff you can do with it. Bushwhacker is in there. Gonna have to use this here. The spell removal is not that effective, at least against my builds it wasn't, because it's a lot of the tokeny stuff. Comes in play tap land, not ideal, but hopefully they just play some tokens. I can Wrath. Mog, fantastic. I had a Frenzied Goblin as well. Another cool value-y thing with Bushwhackers. I'm a little tempted to Cryptic and tap the team for a turn before Damnationing. Because I think I can get more out of them. And I don't think the cryptics are going to be easy to keep up for the rest of the game. Do have bolts, which makes my position quite a bit more tenuous. Because now I'm just dead to a goblin grenade. Although if they play bolts, maybe they don't have room for grenades. Wishful thinking. It's wishful thinking o'clock. Their hand has 2 dragon fodders. They're going to play them both. Oh no, it's just bolts 3 and 4. Or 2 and 3, I mean. That works too. That is not the construct of hands that we were going to beat. So remember when I was like, burn, oh, we're dead. Goblins, we have a chance. But then the Goblins deck had a bunch of burn and was played out like a burn deck enough that we were back to having no chance. Don't want these. Do want these. Don't really want these. Some Vendilions, I guess. Just bodies. Better than Thoughtseize, right? I'm gonna say yes. I'm not confident about it. Maybe I just want Dismembers, though. Because, killing the Goblin God on 1 is worth it, and then Pile Driver is a beating. And Vendilions are real bad. Speaking of real bad, I'm gonna go ahead and mulligan lands and spells, because it is not good. This, however, is quite good. I don't think I want to keep a 4th land. I am going to Inquisition on 1 because getting rid of Goblin Guide is too important. Legion Loyalist. Oh, they do have grenades. Alright. I guess they're just not playing as many tokens as I was. What does the most damage here? Pile Driver, probably. Pile Driver plays most into Damnation, for whatever that's worth. I want to make sure that I clean up Frenzied Goblin so that Kalitas can do work. A little tempted to take Bushwhacker. Like, you can make an argument for literally every spell. Another sound off moment. What would you take here? I'm very curious. And I'm not just giving you time to think about it. I legitimately don't know what I'm going to take. How does this game play out? Loyalist hit me. Pile Driver. And the next turn, like, Frenzy Goblin Bushwhacker. Obviously not all of that can happen because I'm taking one of those. I don't think I can take Grenade, even though it is cute to protect Kalitas. I think I have to take Pile Driver. Sad. Yep, the old Raging Goblin hooks. Didn't I bottom you? Once we are guaranteed to have 4-on-4 for our multiple 4s. So there's that. War Marshal. Hopefully they don't pay. And then Bushwhacker me and I take 1,000,000 damage but then get to Damnation. I think my percentage of War Marshals paid for versus not might be the highest in Magic the Gathering. Like, in the DCI, the percentage of Mog War Marshals cast to Echoes paid, or Echoes paid to War Marshals cast, rather, I'm pretty sure I'm in the running for top all time. I love me some value. I'll pay Echo all day for that guy. How do you play a card and then just give up a body, you know? Not that it was necessarily wrong for my opponent, just that I really, really don't like sacrificing creatures for no reason. Also, back when this was being played a bunch, it's like a really important anti-wrath measure. Speaking of which. Okay. So I can snap Inquisition, take Bushwhacker. Then it's Frenzied Goblin Grenade. I don't get to block because they get first strike. Probably just pay for the War Marshal. And I can't like play Kalitas because I just die. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I take 12. And then Wrath. I'm at 4 against Frenzied Goblin X. Oh no, they play the Frenzied Goblin. No, they don't. If they have another land, then I go to 2 and clean up the whole board. But then my Kalitas is gone, so I have no way to gain life again. Not ideal. I could... Damnation. Then I get bushwhacked for 2, 4, 6 probably. Then Kalitas, they have to grenade it. Then snap Damnation. Alright, I think that's plan A. We will see how it actually works, but the War Marshal is genuinely a very powerful anti-wrath measure. Whoa. Because anybody is great when you have bushwhackers and goblin grenades and chieftains and whatever else. Whatever other nonsense people use 1/1 tokens for. What are my good draws here? An Inquisition for the grenade to make Kalitas actually get hits in is pretty sweet. Tech Edge was not on my shopping list. I can tell you that much. I'm playing the fetch last because I'm hoping I'll just draw enough untapped lands that I don't have to pay an extra life until the time has come. Another bushwhacker is not lethal quite yet. It's gonna get me for 3. Surely you should do that, right? This kind of works out amazingly. Am I gonna get like surgical extraction? That would stink. Damn, nation. That was sick. I have to say, this 5 hours I'm spending doing these videos is worth it for that play. That felt good. That felt real nice. Yeah, these Vendilions, I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I want Dismembers. I kind of just want Thought Seizes, honestly. Like, this card was legitimately good that game, and I would have happily welcomed another piece of discard. Even at the cost of 2 life, I think it's probably okay. Maybe I want... Yeah, I'll split them. Again, it's not a burn deck. So, like, my life total isn't necessarily... Like, they deal a lot of damage in, like, 12-point chunks. So it's not like paying 2 life on turn 1 is going to be detrimental, like, worth a full card like it might be in in other matchups. Come on. It is, I will note, all of my Moldifives are like, this is a pretty good 5 and a scry. All my Moldifives are like no-landers, like multiple no-landers, which is bonkers considering this deck has 24. Maybe they'll just go 1-drop, 1-drop. And I'll go leak into explosives. Nope. Never lucky. Okay. I am taking 4 for the next 2 turns, which is unfortunate. Chieftain? No, thank you. That thing represents 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage. Hannah leak. Could not leak faster. But I do suck up a 4-ball here, and presumably next turn. No, too many bushwhackers. Too many cooks. Too many bushwhackers. Like Mog War Marshal is just lethal. Just straight up dead. Bolt my face to surge? Bolt my face, don't surge. That had to be a mistake, right? Like, the only reason you bolt there is to surge. Yeah, the misclick. Oh, man. It would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more damage. So I'd be at 2, going to 1. That is unfortunate. Got too excited that they drew a spell. Alright, need one more brick. I say one more, they didn't brick. But I need a brick. Come on, Kosher Sandwich. Miss one time. Yes, doing it. Actually doing it. The Enforcer. That's a pretty good one. Defense. Defense. Tassiger the Wary. Guide. Going for it? So that means I'm dead, right? Because the only reason you go for it here is if your last card is the stupid... Oh, no. I'm going to say the Goblin Grenade, but it is not. Just getting me for 2 damage so that I'm in Goblin Grenade range, I guess. I can respect the aggression. Cryptic Command is a good thing to be guided out. Oh, you scooped. We did it! All right. 4-1 with our only loss coming to the deck that I thought this deck was built to beat. But to be fair, we got pretty unlucky and it was a close game. And it was a weird version with Thoughtseizes that ended up playing a pretty major role. You know, the blue, red, and colorless versions obviously don't have access to such things. So I wouldn't take that as a sample of how this deck actually does against the Eldrazi decks you'll normally be facing, but you did see a little bit of how the strategy goes and how some of the interactions work. And then all the other matchups were sweet, you know? Control decks. You just have all the answers and then some card draw, and then the win conditions are so much better than they have been at any point in Magic history that you can just turn the corner so fast and go from like barely staying alive and kind of like, you know, duck and dive to just like, oh, you're like, I have lethal in 2. Like I played a 1 mana 4/5 and I already have this 3/2 unblockable in play. Like it's just boom, like, and that's really, really important, especially in a format like Modern where even if you run them completely out of resources, if you just let them sit for 4 turns, they can draw, you know, the combination of 2 cards that wins the game outright. So yeah, I like this deck a lot. Osman, however you say your screen name, A+. I love the deck. Give it a try if you like control decks. Kontrol's been kind of buried in Modern recently, so it's cool to see this deck giving it a little more resurgence in the format. Let me know what you thought of these videos and what you think I should be playing next. If you want me to play that Goblin deck or something else that I've brewed up. Yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one.